Okay, I'm going to hope that that works this week. All right. All right, so let's come to a comfortable seat. Whoever's just come in, go ahead and mute. Okay, great. Oh yeah, it's Mona. Hey, Mona. All right. Okay, so I'm sitting cross-legged, but remember, if that doesn't feel good for you, shift. I'm gonna just come up and check here. Make sure everybody's muted.
You don't have to because you don't know me. So.
There we go. We just muted them. Okay, great. and also, so I like to start in the morning since it's a morning practice, which to me is my favorite time to practice yoga. Is I like to come up a little bit. So I have a little bit of a lift so that my low back gets as much lengthening as possible. Anybody there out in the group here that has low back issues, you might want to just for a little bit sit up on just for me, it's about 2-3 inches, just to get a little bit of a shift of your pelvis. Okay. So it's International Women's Month, which is, awesome. And I was looking at different quotes and I found a bunch of really cool ones, but I just love some of the quotes by some of the most amazing women in my world who I really look up to. Eleanor Roosevelt. Women are like tea bags. We don't know our strength until we are in hot water. Love that. And it's so true, right? We come through. We really do. We get that sense of resilience and we share that. And whether or not you've had actual children in your life that you gave birth to, you're always birthing things, right? You're always nourishing things. You're always working on helping others. And so that's our big forte, but it can burn us out as well. Totally can burn us out. So let's start like this. So I'm cross-legged, hands on knees, just lightly. And let's start by creating some circling. Oh, that feels good. And if circling up on a blanket doesn't feel good, you can come off of it. But what I want you to do is feel your sits bones and try to circle around them. So that creates a more evenness throughout the pelvis. And as you keep in the same direction, see if you can even go larger and work with your belly muscles. So I had said in the email that we're going to do a lot of work with core support, core stabilizing. Every time you come around to the back of the pelvis, pull the navel in. Try to relax your head, and we're still going in the same direction. And then come back forward. Okay. Before we go to the other side, we're going to lift arms up, palms facing me. Good. Take an inhale. Just one more. And just take a moment, just feeling that. Then switch legs to opposite. And let's go in the other direction. For me, of course, I always start in the direction of least resistance. And we all have that sort of thing with our bodies where we get into patterns and habits. And so now as I move in this other direction, it feels a little bit more foreign to me, but I know it's really good for me. Now, same idea. Every time you come back, pull that navel in and then reach around to the front. Try to relax your face, your head, your neck, and then come back to center. Nice and tall. And we're going to take another set here, 5 of these, palms face forward, inhale. And then reach back Fingertips push into the mat and start to reach out those legs. Press out those legs. So I'm so happy. I know that some of you are not in Tucson right now, but in Tucson, we've got wonderful sunny weather. Yes, it's been chilly, but that's wonderful because you know it's not going to be for very long. And just one more time here, each leg, and then feet flat. So I'm still facing you. Feet are wide, palms just below those knees. Now, as you exhale, round back and really pull the navel in, tuck the chin. And then as you inhale, belly, chest, throat, and exhale back. Take your time here, your own pace, coming forward and back. Now, every time you come forward, make sure those elbows are really pulling in towards your body and back. And let's do 3 more. What we're doing here is really working with the whole spine. We're trying to get it very flexible but strong. Okay, we need both of those. Last one. And then come back to center. Now I'm going to come off of my lift because I feel really lengthened already, but you decide. And then come back in with crossing your legs. We're going to take our fingertips all together and put them on our shoulders, okay? And try to open out your elbows. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, turn to your right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Now continue on your own. And as you do these, your inhale is really trying to lengthen you, and your exhale is creating that that squeeze, that twist into the torso. You don't want to be slumping for this. Elbows are pulling back. And let's just do 2 more. And here comes our last one. And then release those arms. And once again, lean back and let's reach out again, and let's reach out to the sides. To the sides. Try to get those shoulders back a little bit behind you. All right. And then feet flat again, but this time nice and wide. Okay, I'm going to lean back and let's check in with those hips as we do some windshield wipers. Yeah, good. I love seeing all the different colors in your houses. It's so cool to see that, all, all the different ways you choose to decorate, but also the colors of your walls. Okay, and then we're going to do as we did last week, where our knees come down to the left. I'm going to adjust myself, and I'm going to take my torso right over that left knee and begin dolphin diving. The exhale skims down and the inhale reaches up. So every time you skim down, you're really pulling your belly in. And then when you come up, you're pushing your chest out. So this is so good for so many things in the torso, including the hips. And let's do 2 more. And here comes our last one. Then try to stay over this left leg. And if you can, start to come over it deeper, maybe onto forearms. Maybe you've got your block. Maybe you can get your forehead down to the floor or down to your hands. And see if you can rest the heaviness of your torso down into that leg. So sometimes we're crunching our shoulders up here. Try to let them go. And then come back up. Oh yeah. We're not done on this side. We're going to take our left palm out a little bit. And then if you're able to, lift that right leg. Keep it bent at the knee. And then if you can, stretch out the leg and bend the knee. And if you can, lift the arm. Yes, that looks good. So you're keeping the low belly in strongly, and you're reaching each time pushing through your left palm at the same time. And let's just do 2 more. There we go. And then come back. And those legs come back forward. And we'll do our windshield wipers. I have a frog in my throat. I'm not sure where it came from. And let's just do one more set here. And then land it to the right. I'm going to adjust myself again in case you need to have a look. Okay, move things out of the way. Turn your torso over that leg and begin. The exhale dives down, the inhale reaches up. So you want to feel that belly working with every dive. That means you're trying to skim your nose right down to your knee. Tricky. Some of you will have clicks in that upper back because the upper back gets so stuck. And then here's our last one. And come back right over this leg. Take your time. So you might decide to stay high like I'm showing, or start to bring yourself down, controlling this lane over of your over the leg by pulling the navel in. Try to relax your head onto something, your hands, your block, the floor. Use your breath. We're really stretching into that outer hip. You can feel it. And then come back up. Okay, so we're going to take the right palm. See how far away from my body I am. And then lift that left leg. Try to reach up the arm as you straighten that knee and bend it. Straighten it and bend it. Don't go too fast. Try to spread your toes at the same time. A lot of stuff going on here. And let's do one more time. Stretch it and then put it back down. And bring your legs back forward. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways in case you need to have a look. I'm taking my fingers and pointing them out to the side, shoulders back. Plant those feet for table pose. Here we go. Inhale right up. Exhale down. Again, inhale up, lift with the hips first, then the chest opens. Exhale down. Every time you come down, tuck your chin. Last one, we're going to try to stay up here. Try to stay up. You're a table here. Try to lift those butt muscles right up. And come back down. Rest over your legs. That's always a lot for me. And I've had so many jobs and different sorts of things where I'm kind of pushing my body more forward. So it's like opening up, and it takes a little bit of time. And let's take it right into boat pose, your boat pose. So try to open your upper chest, try to press it upwards and breathe. Nice deep breath. And rest. Just take a moment, letting your forehead drop. And then we're going to come into either another table pose or reverse plank. Okay, so you know what you've been working on and what you might want to try. With reverse plank, your legs are together, your toes are spread. Plant your hands, and here we go. Lift up, hold and breathe. So take the intensity out of the shoulders by lightly squeezing the glutes. Press your big toes down and come back down. And again, rest forward. Just let yourself round forward. Oh, yeah. Okay, from here, excuse me, this throat of mine, I'm going to turn and face you again. And I'm going to drop my left leg. Okay, and then take your right foot over, okay? So don't drop your right knee though, okay? So take it over, the right foot is flat, so you could keep it on the inside if you need, okay? And then sit up really tall, and I'm clasping around this right knee, and roll your shoulders back and down, so you're tucking elbows, and then your left foot, toes are spread, toes are coming towards your face, hold and breathe. You're trying to breathe nice and deep, working on elongating that spine. Now start to knit in your belly muscles more deeply and hug around with your left hand around that knee and take a rotation to your right. It might not be very big, it's okay. You can take your right hand and push it down behind you on the floor and roll that right shoulder back. One more breath here. And then unwind. Not quite done though. Now we're going to take it to half cow. If you're able to, walk that foot back and come on its outer edge, okay? Trying to drop this right knee right over the left knee as best as you can. Sometimes scooching your butt cheeks out helps, okay? Then from here, once again, we start with our clasped hands around that upper knee, the right knee, shoulders back and down, lengthen the chest forward and start to lean over that leg and breathe. So many of you are able to take your hands to the left leg, maybe the left ankle, maybe the left foot, dropping your forehead, using nice deep breaths up and down the spine. And then come back up one step at a time. Oh yeah. And we'll release those knees. Yeah, a little bit of warming up here on the floor. Feels really good. Let's go to the other side. Okay, so I'm bending in my left foot, and if you can, you're taking it over, okay? If you feel stable. And then sit up nice and tall, really tall. I'm clasping around this left foot, get everything activated, and then join me in turning to your left, hugging around that knee with the right arm and attempting to lift the torso as you rotate it. Try to roll your left shoulder back. This is the real issue with a lot of us women as we age, is the upper back gets rounded, and we want to try to prevent that. It's also one of the first signs of osteoporosis. And then come back, facing forward. Let's try to come to that half cow as best as you can. Oh yeah. Starting with that nice lengthened spine, toes towards your face, and then laying the body over the leg. Maybe hands come to the right leg, maybe not. Use your breath. For me, this side is tighter. I'm always checking in and noticing where I tend to grip when I'm feeling that tightness, and it's usually in my face. Let that gripping go. And then come back up, and let's release again. And let's go ahead and open and close those knees a few times. Oh, that feels good. And then come back to seated cross-legged. Okay, come back and see if it feels any better than when we first began. All right. We're going to take both two fingers of each hand and press them down to the mat. Bhumudra, shoulders lightly back, lightly down, lengthen upwards, but feel your sits bones coming down. And just take a moment here. There should be a sense of feeling a little more balanced through the body, which is what we want as we step out into the world each day. We have to work on ourselves and then help others. And then let's take our palms together. And on an inhale, reach up nice and tall. Om. And again, inhale nice and tall. Om. And one more time. Om. A moment of gratitude, a moment of gratitude for this life that we're leading right now, wherever it's taken you to this very moment. A moment of gratitude that we are here on this earth and there's still time to do a lot of good things. And then release that mudra. We're going to take those legs behind us and come to all fours. I wanted to give you another quote here for International Women's Month. And this one is from Coco Chanel, who I also love. I loved her biography. A girl should be two things: who and what she wants. Who and what she wants. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do some cat cows. The exhale rounds and the inhale reaches. Feel now the difference as you work into these movements of the spine. The spine is so vital for so much. And we know when we're not feeling good in the spine, a lot of things feel off balance. And let's take one more time. And then come back to neutral. Okay. Go ahead and plant your forearms down, and I'm facing you in case you need to see the width of my elbows. They're slightly more narrow than my shoulders. We're getting ready for dolphin. We're going to curl those toes under and then reach up like a downward dog, trying to let your head just drop between those arms. Nice deep breaths. I like to keep my knees slightly bent in this pose. Press down through those forearms. And then if you want to join me, inhale, come over the hands. Exhale, pull back. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. We're saying good morning to our rotator muscles of our shoulders. And we have one more time. And then dropping down, coming back up to all fours. That's palms are down. Take 3 cat cows. The exhale rounds and the inhale reaches. Oh, that feels so good. We're coaxing the body open. Here's our last one. Because we're heading towards thread the needle. Okay, so we're doing a lot of rotations today, carefully, to really work with so much of the torso. Okay, here we go. Right arm. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, glide it through. And again, 2 more times. Just being aware of what's stretching, what's strengthening, what do you need. Now come into your last time and see if you can rest on that shoulder and side of your head or on a blanket. Okay, so please make sure you have some rest of the shoulder. And then you decide, left arm up. You could keep it there. You could take it behind you. You could reach it in front of you towards the front of your mat. So you decide. And then if you're advancing your pose, take your time. We don't rush into that. Instead, we find the strength deep inside of us. That's how we do the work we do. These poses are metaphors for our lives. Try to hold a little bit longer. And then start to come out step by step all the way back to all fours. Ooh. And we're going to go right through that whole little set again. So we're going to come down to forearms. And I'm still facing you if you have to have a look, and clasp. Curl toes under, have your feet apart, and then come into dolphin. So if you don't want to come over your fists each time with a breath, it's okay. But go ahead if you are. Inhale forward, exhale back. Let the belly lead the movement. 2 more. And here comes our last one. Carefully coming down, coming back up to all fours, and 3 cat-cows. We use the cat-cows to integrate what we're doing. So you know, in a moment, we're getting ready for thread the needle with the left arm. So have your props ready if you need them. Here we go. Inhale and open. Exhale, take it through. Each time, use the navel center to move you. So many people move everything with their heads. Here's our last time. Drop it down. Take your time. Decide where you're going here. Now, I like to try to really relax my face, especially if I'm super advancing this pose, because I want all the intensity to go into my navel. So you're pulling the navel center in. That's the seat of the 3rd chakra. That's our self-empowerment. And then step by step, coming back out and back to all fours. Oh yeah. And then let's take it back to a child pose of your choice. Maybe make it more of a restful one as we're just beginning this practice. I'm going to stay facing you a little bit longer in case you want to see me from a different view. And we're getting ready to come up to knee stand. So activate belly. Here we go. Inhale up, arms overhead. 4 prostrations, carefully done, challenging, working deep into that belly. Remember, a slow exhale is what really will get you to be able to do this. 2 more. 3rd chakra is so important for women. We lose that sense of empowerment often in our lives, and come all the way down and then up to all fours. Spread those fingers, and as you're ready, downward facing dog. Oh yeah, adjust everything that you need here, and then start to walk your dog. Press one heel, the other heel. Let the head be relaxed, but also in movement if it wants. Find the full pose. And now listen to my instructions. Inhale to plank. Hold and breathe. Once again, use your butt muscles a little bit and then pull in that navel center. Drop your knees and come up on fingertips as you pull back to an extended child's pose. Really even crawl those fingers forward to try to get the armpit areas to really stretch. A lot going on in that area. Now activate the belly. Here we go. Right up to Naga knee stand. Inhale. 3 prostrations. Exhale. You get to work on it a little bit more. 2 more. Really think about that 3rd chakra. It's golden energy. Manipura. Last one. And back to all fours. Let's take a moment. All fours is actually a very nice place to be. It's actually very restful for the spine. And we're going to start to barrel roll the torso. pick it up, roll it deep. Really try to pick it up right from that navel center. Stay in the same direction a little bit longer, and then other direction. So this is also the season of cleansing. The spring cleanse is most important. It's very challenging at times, and that's that same area. It's cleansing deep into the third chakra, and come back to center. Woo! Bring your feet in a little closer, bring your knees in a little closer, keep your fingers spread, downward facing dog. Oh yeah. So I've got my feet in closer to each other so I can lift my right leg straight back and up. And then bend that knee and open that hip. Try to let your head really go. Oh yeah, just a little bit longer. So we're gonna try to step the right foot through to a lunge. Yes, awesome. Really good. Take your time, make your adjustments. Come up on fingertips, or if you have a block and you want to use a block, see how I've got one in front, you could do that if you need to. It really feels good, actually. Nice deep breaths here. We're staying with that back knee lifted if we can. Then take your left palm down and open up your right arm, your right chest. Nice deep breaths here. So if you feel unstable here, please go ahead and put that back knee down. And then come back to that lunge. We're not going to stay here. We're going to take that right leg back again to plank pose. Oh no, the plank. So remember, you could put your knees down if you need to. Then bend your knees and take it back to downward facing dog. Take your time. Feet are closer to each other. Lift the left leg. I got to come back. I hit the wall behind me. Lift that left leg. Oh yeah. And then if you're able to, bend that knee and open the hip deeper. And we're going to try to swing that foot through till we get to our lunge, and there's always time. Here's a quote from Rumi. She overcame everything that was meant to destroy her. Such sadness when I think about that, but there's some truth there, isn't there? But we are strong, we are resilient, we get this endurance. Place your right palm down and start to open up that left arm, that left chest. Breathe here. There have been times in my life where I wasn't sure what was right or what was wrong or where I stood in there. There was confusion until I could enter my own personal power. And then come back, coming back. Now, once again, we're going to take this left leg back, come to plank. Remember, if it's too many planks, you're putting your knees down. Bend your knees and work your way back to downward facing dog. If this doesn't feel good, you can come to all fours. Nice deep breaths here. Then in this pose, walk your feet wide apart. And then start to walk your hands towards your feet till you're in a deep squat. Or if you choose to do a higher squat like I'm demonstrating. Okay, so wherever you're at, nice deep breaths here. Spreading those toes as best as you can. Then lightly lean forward with the torso, each hand to each knee, and come up to standing. Keep your legs wide. Slight turn out of those feet. Just take another breath here. Okay, and then let's move a little bit. Oh yeah. I woke up this morning with some tightness in my right neck, and I think I got cold in the night, and my neck always gets affected first. So it's good to just, be mindful of those places in your body. And then let's come up to the fronts of our mats. And I'm going to turn sideways now, and palms come together. Take a moment to feel the changes, feel the difference into when we first began. Then take an inhale and reach up so tall. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, part way up, stretch that body. And as you exhale and drop the torso, right leg comes back. Once again, we're in that lunge. We're going to take, though, our back foot and turn it and place it flat. If you need a block to help you, please, or your chair, and then come up, forearm to that front leg. So I want you to have a look at that front leg and make sure that foot is in the direction of the front of the mat. Okay, that's really important. For many of you, you might have to have a longer step back as well. And then if you're able to, right arm lifts. And maybe that arm comes along the side of the head. Nice deep breaths here. And then turn your head to look down, turn the back foot and come back to lunge pose. And we're going to step it forward. Take an inhale, part way up. And as you exhale, drop deep, knees are bent, and inhale, sweep all the way up, stretch up, and come right back to heart. Adjust your feet, look down if you need to, toes are spread, and then your next inhale takes you up to toe stand. Up to toe stand, every toe is working, hold and breathe, try to lift in the belly. This is tricky for me. And come right back, mountain pose. Take an inhale and reach up so tall. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, part way up. And as you exhale, you're stepping the left leg back into that lunge. But instead of staying here, make the adjustment to move into side angle pose. Take your time. Often one hip is very different than the other. For me, this side a little tighter, but I'm taking my time with it. Make sure your feet are really supporting you, not your inner arches. Your inner arches should be elevated. And then find your pose. Breath. Yeah, looks good. Turn your head to look down. Start to come back to that lunge pose. Once again, step forward, take an inhale, part way up, really stretch. And as you exhale, drop deep, knees are bent. Inhale all the way up, stretch up. And as you're exhaling and coming back to heart center, right away, feel your feet. We're going to do another toe stand. Some of you may want feet together, a little more challenging. And then here we go. Inhale right up, hold and breathe. Try to look forward and slightly down. If feet are together, you're squeezing those legs together. And right back to heart space. Keep your feet together if they are, okay? Then move into that left leg and take it right over to stork pose. Use the breath. Try to open that chest. Try to really stand taller if you can. Then take your right foot, take it back behind you a little further and step it down. So the toes are down on the mat. Arms are still open. Please have a look at me if you need to. Front knee is bent. Now, if this position doesn't feel good, put the back foot entirely flat, okay? Either way, hold and breathe here. And if you can even lengthen more and then drop deeper and open the chest. Then straighten both knees, clasp behind, shoulders roll back. Oh yeah. And then again, bend that front knee. And as you exhale, take the torso at a diagonal over that front knee. Come back up carefully, release those arms, and step back forward. Palms together. Feet come back together if you're working that way. You can always have them apart. We're coming to another toe stand. Here we go. Inhale right on up. Hold and breathe. So we're working that sense of deep endurance today. Lift in the low belly, nice deep breaths. And back down. Getting ready for stork pose, other side. Lift the left knee. You know your modifications. You could be toe touching if you need. Now try to open that chest. Try to stand taller. Then take the bent knee back, but start to reach that leg back and touch it down behind you. You have enough time where you can make adjustments. Start to bend that front knee more. Open that chest. Breathe here. My palms are facing the sky. Then straighten both knees, clasp behind. If that doesn't feel good, don't do that part, but roll your shoulders back. And again, bend that front knee, come deeper. And if you can, come to a diagonal with your upper body. I'm looking forward and slightly down. Come back up, release those arms, step forward. Last time, feet are together in this little set, and take that inhale right on up to Tolasana, toe stand, hold and breathe. Now, if you're really working this pose, you're lightly squeezing your butt cheeks equally. You're pushing your heels towards each other. You're lengthening up through the side body and back down. And just take a moment. Let's open up legs and take palms facing forward and just breathe. We're adding those balancing poses, so very important. Take another couple breaths. I have another cool little quote here from Michelle Obama. The future of our world is only as bright as the future of our girls. Oh my God, right? So true. Okay. Tree pose. Tree pose, right? We know the trees. I have some really big trees on my property here, and I'm drawn to them. I'm drawn to their strength, right? Their fortitude. Okay, so wherever you're going to be, it's going to be your left leg is your standing leg. Okay, on or off the mat, a chair, a wall, whatever you need, and come into your pose. If you notice with yoga poses and things, a lot of the poses are representative of nature, right? Of animals and plants and things. And so here's the tree. Ponder the tree. Try to really get stronger in that standing leg. Try to open the bent knee back a little bit more. Keep the navel center breathing. It's okay if you're coming in and out. We're going to stay a little bit longer. And let that go. Come down. Stand nice and tall. Find that breath and work it all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Some days there's just more anxiousness, right? There's more nervousness. What's going to happen next? We come back to our practices. Other side. You don't have to have a whole big long yoga practice. When I say your practices, what brings you back to center? That's yoga, right? Good. Oh, I love that. Nice. Clasping behind. Everybody's got different ways they represent their tree. Nice deep breaths. I'm a little more wobbly in this leg, so I'm going to go in deeper to really work that whole leg. And just one more breath. Back to even stand, even balance. Just let that breath move through you. It feels so good to me. There was a time when that was my only pose I did for a very long time, months actually, kind of kooky, but I just kept working with tree pose, with tree pose, with tree pose, with my breath. And then let's just move again and come back up to the fronts of our mats. The future is in our girls. How do we treat our girls, right? How do we understand them? What sort of opportunities do we give to them? Take our palms together, stand so nice and tall. And then on an inhale, reach up, lengthen up. And on the exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, come partway up and stretch. Should feel so good. And then as you exhale and start to drop, take right leg back. Nice deep breaths here. Now you have a choice. You can put that back knee down if you feel a little wobbly. Otherwise, join me with both hands to front knee. So either way, that back knee, okay? Lift up your torso. Are you able to lift up the right arm? If the back knee is lifted, it's straight. Nice deep breaths here. And then can you lift up the left arm and open up both arms nice and wide? And then place the palms down and step back to plank. There's that plank pose again, holding that plank. Try to soften your eyes, go into navel center. And then everybody knees down, oh yummy, and come back to that extended child pose, elbows stretching. And then bring yourselves back up to all fours. Next exhale, right arm, left leg, sunbird pose. In many fitness classes, they're adding this pose now because it's so powerful, not just for your muscles, but also for your nervous system. Now, if you can, bend that back knee and then take your right arm to the side, palm down. So you could stay right here. This is a very noble place. Or if you're able to, reach back and get that foot. Roll the shoulder back. Try to push the foot into the hand into the foot, and really open your chest. Releasing right back to sunbird. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Let's just kind of wag our tails, shake out wrists. Always those wrists, right? Curl toes under and take it to downward facing dog. Really stretch it to that pose. Your best pose here right now. Then bend those knees, right foot forward. A really nice long lunge here, okay? So like the other side, can you strengthen that back knee? Try to straighten it or put it down. Both hands to front knee, start to work your torso up. Very powerful. And then your left arm up. That's for that whole groin area. Too much sitting maybe, especially in soft sorts of chairs and couches. And then if you can, your right arm up, but open up those arms. And place your palms down again. And there's that plank pose. Sometimes you have to come to all fours in order to get that plank. So see what feels good for you and try to broaden your chest. Feel your strong, very strong arm muscles. And then put your knees down and drop back again. Extended child pose. every opportunity to breathe deeply and come back to all fours. Other side, sunbird, left arm, right leg. The leg is the longest lever in our body, okay? And so that leg lifted like that is doing a lot of stuff in our body. Bend that knee and take the left arm out to the side. You could stay here or try to reach back and get that foot and then find that pose again. That nice, wonderful little back bend here. Letting that go, coming back to sunbird. And then hand comes down, knee comes down once again. Just release those hips, release those wrists a little, fingers. Yeah. All right. Now from here, we're going to widen our knees. I have mine as wide as the mat. Okay. They could even go wider. And I've got my feet also as wide as the mat. Then you're going to attempt, okay, just attempt, and certainly look at me. Your hip joint is right over your knee, okay? You're going to attempt to keep it there like that as you come to forearms, okay? And then I look back at both sides and I see if my hip is still over my knee, okay? So that's one level. You could also come to a block. So I'll show it with a block right now in case you need to see. So I'm like this, as long as I can keep my hips over my knees. Then if you can come deeper, you widen up the elbows and try to place the chest and the chin or the chest and the forehead down. And I look again to make sure my hips have not changed. Oh yeah. And breathe into that mid back area. So wherever you're at, okay, I gave you a bunch of modifications. It's all going to help you for where you're at right now. One more breath here. Very important for that upper mid back, and then come back up. Bring your knees back in and come into a child pose of your choice. So I'm going to take my arms down by my feet and just rest. When we're trying to work with that upper curve of the back, it can feel like really like intensity. So now just let yourself round. And then start to activate the belly. And on the inhale, come all the way up to knee stand, stretch up. Exhale to all fours. Next exhale, downward facing dog. All right. Now widen up your feet as wide as the mat and your hands as wide as the mat and find the pose again. Okay. You can have knees bent if you need. Now tuck your chin and take your left hand to your outer right ankle. This is an inverted twist. Breathe here. Carefully come back and go to the other side. Oh, yeah. Carefully come back and listen to my instructions. Turn your feet slightly out. Walk your hands till they're close to your feet and come back into another squat. If you can, have it nice and deep. Only if you can support it, right? So breathe with it. Breathe into the pelvic bowl. Then tip a bit forward, hands to knees, and bring yourself up to standing. Oh, one step at a time. And then let's move around. Hello, right? Hello, spring. Hello, spring body. I want to get rid of the stagnation in my body. We all have that. It's just part of nature. Stagnation in the springtime leads to openness in the summer, hopefully. All right. So another very good pose for destagnating the body is dancer. We've already prepared for dancer. Okay, I've got you all prepped for it. You can use a chair, you can turn and use a wall, or start working on standing right in the center of your mat or on your floor. Okay, left leg, standing leg. take your time. Like I've told you, I just stand with my knee down and as equal to my straight knee as possible and my arm lifted. I want to get that. This is the true dancer right here. Everything else is the fluff. And so add the fluff as you feel comfortable. If you're using a wall, you're looking up. If you're on the floor doing it, you're looking up. If you're using a chair, you're looking up. Use your breath. It's okay if you've come out. That's good. I love to watch that and come right back in. Nice. And release. And try to just stand quietly. That's one of those poses you're not likely to do on your own unless you're super motivated. And I want you to just feel your shoulder blade. Okay, so it's a lot of shoulder blade work as well. Okay, let's go to the other side. That side that I just did was a little more intense for me. That shoulder's been a little funky lately. Okay. So like I said, I try to stand as straight as possible for the pose and really feel the length. And then I start to ratchet at the hip joint, keeping all those other parameters. Use the breath. Very nice. Very nice, Mary. Yeah. I like that, Diane. Very nice. Try to stay a little longer. And then come back out step by step. Let's stand. Samasthiti. I just had that big breath that just came through me. It's like a wave. Let that happen for you. When we open like that, the lungs are so happy, so happy. And then let's widen up our feet quite a bit, slightly turned out. Let's take one hand to each knee and let's do some wide leg cat cows. So try to stay quite bent at the knees and the hips, and you're really just kind of pumping the belly and the spine. Oh yeah. So in traditional Chinese medicine, the lungs represent sadness and grief. And so when I say the lungs get happy, I really mean it. You know, the lungs really get happy when you open them and then come back up. And let's just move again. Let's move around a little bit. My son Shanti's around and he's been doing a lot of body work and he's really incorporated a lot of traditional Chinese medicine. He's using moxa and he's doing some shiatsu. And oh my gosh, he's really going to those places that I need, which is really great. Okay, let me give you another quote before we begin again. Okay, oh, I like this one. This is from Ayn Rand, okay? The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me, okay? Who's gonna stop me today? Oh yeah. Let's go back up to the fronts of the mats. And knowing so many of you personally, like I do over the years, I know that that's a quote for you. Take your palms together. Feel your strength. Feel that sense of power. It's within each of us. We forget about that. And with that, we can create wonderful magic. Take an inhale and lift up nice and tall. Now listen to my instructions. On the exhale, right arm, right leg, widen up. I'm facing away from you. I'm going to stay that way. Nice deep breaths. Turn the palms upwards. Take even more width if you feel the stability. Okay. Then inhale, arms up. Exhale, goddess pose. Again, inhale, arms up. As you exhale down into this goddess pose, make it as equal as possible again. Lifting up. Let's do 3 more times on our own. So if we weren't as equal, each side as balanced as possible, that's where we can get thrown off. Here's our last one. try to go into a deep goddess. Shoulders are back. Nice deep breaths here. Lift your right heel. Nothing else moved. And then push it down. Lift your left heel. And then push it down. We're going to try. Let's do it. Lift both heels. Breathing here goes right into the pelvic bowl. So important, right? That's our source of power. Push the heels down. Lift up. Let's turn our palms downwards. Let's turn our left leg open. Push back the right heel. Everything is as straight as possible. Glide the body and find triangle pose. So, you know, I've been talking about using a block for triangle. You can if you want. I've got mine in place. I like to push into it in order to pull open my chest and reach my fingers higher towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths here, but my triangle is getting more flexible, so I have to push the block at a lower level, which is good. I can notice a difference. Then come back up and go right into warrior two, right into that powerful warrior. Here, your eyes are so open. They don't miss anything. They see. And then drop the back arm, lift the front, use your breath. Now come back to warrior two. Turn your palms to face your front and let's do that windmill. Okay, so the goal is to try to get your fingertips of your left hand to touch the mat. And you're using the left elbow to push that knee more open. And then come back up. Listen to instructions. The exhale takes you back forward. Oh my, standing nice and tall. I look forward to this class with all of you. I have the Friday class too at Sun City. And of course, I love everybody there. And I look forward to them as well. But I just really look forward to this with all of you. And then take an inhale and reach up so very tall. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come part way up. Then exhale and forward fold again with knees bent deeply. And hold opposite elbows. Oh, that feels so good. Let your head go. Eyes stay open, but let your head go and see if you can stretch deeper as you kind of glide yourself side to side. And if you want to, you can straighten your knees or just one knee and then the other knee. Oh yeah. Then bend deeply and on an inhale, come all the way up and exhale. Back to heart. And here we go, other side. Take that inhale, reaching up. And the exhale is left arm and left leg, nice and wide. Now I see you all. And I really widen up here, okay? And then take the arms up. Inhale. Exhale into goddess. That looks good. Inhale again. Stretch up, very nice. Exhale. Get those knees to widen up. Inhale, reach. You have 3 more. Here's our 1. 2 more on your own. Why is it goddess pose? Because those feet bottoms are working so deeply with the earth. And here we go. Now find your pose. Now don't hurt yourself. So you don't have to go really deep if it doesn't feel right. Lift up your right heel. Yes. And then push it down. Lift up your left. Yeah. And push it down. We're going to try to lift both heels. Right now, there's pelvic floor evening out. And then push the heels down. Come back up. Woohoo! Palms are facing down. Turn out the right leg. we're getting ready for our triangle whenever you're ready. For me, this side's a little tighter, so the block really comes in handy. It's like you're kind of, that hip socket is pulling in so that you can stretch the rest of your body. Breath. There, I just had a good release so I can come deeper with my block. And then inhale back up and exhale into warrior two. Look right out through those fingers. Make sure the shoulders are down. They're ready for action. The warrior is alert. The warrior is ready. There's the passion, right? And take the back arm down the back leg and lift that front arm up. We ask for that higher guidance. There's so much going on right now in the world. So much. We want the warrior of the heart. And I believe that's where women come in. And then come back to warrior two, but palms face me. And then let's go ahead and windmill. Oh, yes. So I'm trying to get my fingertips and my right hand to push down to the mat. Try to open your chest. And come back up. And then come all the way up. And this time, turn your feet to face your forward. And I even slightly pigeon toe in a bit, pushing my heels out. And if you need a block right in front of you, go ahead, because we're going to try to stay straight through the legs. And we're going to try to bend right at the groins, keeping the spine straight, just part way. So I'm holding my hips with my hands, but you can put your hands on that block about 2 feet in front of you to really lengthen your spine, push your butt back. If you need to have a look at me, go ahead, please. Otherwise, if you're able to, come further down with a straight spine, as though your forehead could kiss the earth. Okay, and some of you could, I know that. And breathing here. When you can't go any further, plant your palms right down under your shoulders, elbows back. Nice deep breaths here. Then inhale, part way up and bring your hands way out and plant the palms. The palms have to be flat down. And then exhale into that wide leg downward dog. What does that mean? Your heels should be down for this. Your palms are down. Your hands are wide. You're going to tip up your sits bones. Breathe here. Now listen to my instructions. Legs and body stay similar, but you start to walk the hands in towards you. And if you can, walk them behind you, right between your legs, and let your chin tuck in. Don't topple over. Come back out, turn out your left foot and bring yourself to a bit of a lunge to that left side. So once again, if you look over at me, you'll see that my right foot is flat, okay? And I'm lunged to my left with my left shoulder into my left knee. And I'm just holding there. Now, some of you are able to go deeper and bind here by taking your right arm over the body behind you and binding under that left thigh, okay? You decide. But stay here another moment. Then stay low and go to the other side. That's our Spider-Man move, okay? Stay low. What side is tighter? For me, they've gotten pretty even with just this practice today. Nice deep breaths again. But if I try to bind this side, it doesn't bind as easily. And I just acknowledge that. And then come back to center, toes face forward or slightly pigeon-toed. Inhale, part way up. Put one hand each hip or waist. Exhale all the way up. And then either toe and heel in till you're closer together, or some of you take a little jump. Yeah, good. And palms face forward. And take a moment here. It's not an unused moment. The moments of quietness are where you get the real taste of the practice. I really believe that. And then go ahead and move just really easily, kind of sensuously, where you feel a shoulder, a hip, a knee, fingers. What is the meaning of sensual? It's to feel the senses, right? To actually experience them through you. Oh, yeah. All right, so we're ready for another balancing pose, standing balancing pose, and it's going to be your choice, okay? Student's choice. So, do you want another tree pose? Are you maybe wanting to try a half lotus today? Or would you like to try that dancer again? It's such a powerful pose. Or are you wanting to do like the half moon balancing pose? Is there something else, okay? A standing balance that would be good for you, and go ahead and get it now. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, getting right by the door, Jan, that's really good. Yeah, whatever you need, make it your pose. If you need a block, what is it? We're going to stay on the side you chose to move into for a bit. So that means you could come in and out, or you could go deeper inside of you. I suggest you breathe right into your navel center for any of the standing poses, so that we really work into that empowerment. Manipura. So Manipura means land of lustrous gemstones, which I just love. Stay a little bit longer, about 3 more breaths. Land of lustrous gemstones. And it gets really clogged up and it gets foggy. And then start to come out carefully, carefully. And wherever you're at, just stand. Just stand. I want you to really taste that experience. Okay, and then enter the other side. Yeah. I mean, I'm really into trying to do challenging poses and even working up a sweat in my yoga practice, but I'm also very respectful of the idea that we really are shifting. We're really tasting the experience of moving energy. We can't forget that. So finding this side, finding the experience of this side could be a totally different chapter, but welcome it, welcome it. And we have another 3 or 4 breaths. And then slowly starting to come back out again. Find your standing mountain pose, your Samastiti, whatever it is, where both legs are very even in how they're accepting your weight and how they're bringing the energy up through the body. And breathe. And then go ahead and just move again. Find that little sense of movement. There was another cool oh, here, Frida Kahlo. This is a little quote from her. Feet, what do I need you for when I have wings to fly? Feet, what do I need you for when I have wings to fly? I love that. Okay. So let's come back up to the fronts of the mats. I'm going to actually start facing you all, palms together. And then take an inhale. I know you're getting tired, So really respect your body. Exhale, really feel every movement. Inhale, part way up. And now as you exhale, drop the torso, right leg back. Take your left leg back. Uh-oh, there's plank. Breathe into it. Welcome the fact that you're even in a plank pose, right? And then drop your knees down, relax your toes, and come all the way back to child pose with wide knees. Wide knees. Drop your forehead to something, okay? A block, the back of your hands, the mat. Oh, that's so cool. I'm actually looking at my forehead is on the chakra of the heart. That's cool. This is a neat mat. And breathe into the pelvic floor. We need this whole body as like an orchestra working as one in all of its different ways. And then bring yourselves up to sitting onto heels or a block, right? And take your fingertips back behind you and push them down into the mat. Right here, get that chest open. Then on the next inhale, open, lift up the hips, lift up the throat, and come back down. Now we're going to go back into that wide knee child pose again, but if you're able to sit between your feet, only if your knees allow, okay, and the knees have to stay down. And then once again, so whatever your practice is, come back down. Take that breath deep down to the pelvic floor. We want it to feel elastic with breath. And then bring yourselves back up again. So you could be sitting on a block. You could be sitting with on your heels or between your heels. So we haven't done this pose in a very long time. I'm going to turn sideways. Your knees cannot be up. If they're up, please get a block under you. And maybe come down all the way down to the floor. Okay. I don't know if I'm coming down today. Well, maybe I am. Oh yeah. I'm coming down to forearms. That's where I'm coming. I've got a lot of tightness in the front of my thighs. And just breathe wherever you're at. To come out, we tuck our chins and carefully push ourselves back out. Come to all fours. Adjust yourself and take a downward facing dog. Oh yeah. That was good for my ankles. I needed that for my ankles. We are only going to stay in this one more deep breath. And then we're going to put our knees down and bring our legs in front of us. Oh yeah. Legs in front of us. This is kind of sort of where we began today. Feet are wide. Hands are just below those knees. And let's take an exhale and round back and an inhale and reach. What I want you to notice is, does it feel different? Is there even a tiny bit more flow, that sense of flow? Last one. Come back up and come into boat pose. If you can, you could clasp in front of you, elbows straight, and try to straighten those knees a little bit more. And rest. Oh, let your head go. Just rest. From here, we're going to tuck the chin and round ourselves down to the mat. Not quite done though. Okay, we're not quite done yet. Let me just check my time. Yeah, good. Oh yeah. But before we do anything else, Knees are bent, feet are flat, hands on belly. Thumb tips are touching right at navel, and let your elbows just drop and breathe into the belly. Don't breathe into your monkey mind, creating all kinds of havoc about your body. Instead, just breathe into a supple, open, soft belly. That's the real piece of nature and of woman. We're not supposed to be hard as rock. We're supposed to have a sense of softness. But inside of that softness is strength and courage. One more nice deep breath. Then take and clasp your hands behind you. Lay your head back down and try to open your elbows nice and wide. Oh, that feels so good. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, lift chest first and then head. Really pull the navel in. Inhale back down. Let's do that again. Exhale slowly. Inhale. We have two more just like this. And then if you want to, you can advance it. So if you're advancing, you're lifting your feet off the mat. Nothing else is changing though. Most advanced, your legs are straight up. Important to not be pulling your head. The chest is what's lifting first. And when you finally get that, you will get much stronger in the deep belly. And we have two more. Then head is down, resting with your hands still behind it. Bend your knees in towards your chest and just breathe. Nice. Now, keep your left knee in towards your chest and lift your right leg straight up. Oh, hello. And then start to bring that right leg down towards the mat. And if you're able to, you're going to let it hover just a couple inches off the mat. If that's too intense, please put it down. Take an inhale. Exhale, chest lifts, right elbow to left knee. Inhale back. Again, exhale. Inhale. Each time your chin tucks, continue. We have four more. Remember, you can always stop. This is for that cleansing you're thinking of doing. Here comes our last one. Oh my gosh. And bring your head back down and bring both knees back in towards the chest. Just breathe. Try to let your elbows touch the mat if you can, touch the floor. Other side. So we're going to keep the right knee in. We're going to lift the left leg straight up and then start to lower it. Let it hover. Okay, the closer to the floor, the more challenging. Here we go. Exhale. Inhale back. Again. Exhale, chin tucks. Inhale back. Continue here. And right now you have 5 more. They really build on each other. So I know you're feeling it because I am. I have just 2 more. Here's the last one. Oh my gosh. Come back and rest. Knees are just kind of hovering or folded in towards the chest. I have my knees folded a little wider, more towards the armpits. Now stretch the back of your head and then lay your head down and take your hands to your knees. Oh yeah. And let's just rock a little. Then we're going to cross the right knee tightly over the left, and then pick up our butt and take it to the right and drop it back down, arms out, shoulder height. Drop your knees to the left as best as they will, and your head to the right. We're trying to carefully bring the right shoulder down and breathe. Knee down twist. So there's a deep twist in the belly right now, but try to breathe into it. This is one of those purification poses. And then come back to center, adjust your hips and bicycle. All right, other side. I love this pose. Scoot your hips to the left though before you drop the knees to the right, and that will adjust your spine. Turn your head to the left. Try to make that left shoulder feel really heavy, so it wants to come down to the mat. Breathe right into that belly. And come back to center. Adjust those hips, bicycle arms and legs. Oh yeah. So now what is in your practice that you would like to do right now? Okay. Perhaps it's getting yourself right down to Shavasana, because we know that's so important for us. But perhaps you have a 1-minute pose that would feel really good right now, like a happy baby. Maybe a legs up the wall. And if you have a block, put it under your sacrum, or maybe legs on a chair seat, right? Maybe a headstand. Some of you love those, or shoulder stand. What would feel really good right now? And go ahead, if you're in happy baby pose, and make sure you are dropping your shoulders to the mat. So even if you don't do a full complete practice every day, and really most people do not, okay, it's really more approaching your quiet sacred space every day. Perhaps a couple of poses, for sure some breath work, and a nice Shavasana, a nice maybe resting with blankets and blocks, whatever you want. And so that minute is just about up, and then you will bring yourselves down to your Shavasana. So if there's parts of your body that are a little tight from maybe what we did or some other things, remember you have time. You can lift up your head a little with your hands and stretch your neck. Place your head back down. You could bend your knees. You could even put blocks under each knee, or a big bolster or blanket. But as you drop down now, take some yummy sighs. Just let yourself drop. And so many of you during this pandemic time have gotten wonderful dogs as companions, and it's so awesome to see that. And I used to teach a yoga class right here in the house long ago, and I had a dog named Mudra. And when we were coming down to Shavasana, he seemed to somehow know, and he'd come in and he'd snuggle with the students. And take a few more nice deep breaths here, knowing you can come back to this place. Yeah. And then starting to come out carefully, more lovingly, stretching a bit, moving a bit, enjoying that this body did some things for you, right? You worked together. And as you're ready, go ahead and roll to one side and bring yourselves up. And if you want to sit on something, cross-legged, whatever it is, and I want you to take a mudra if it feels good for you. Your left palm is up and the side baby finger edge of the hand is just kind of resting just under the navel. And then the right hand, the right palm is up and it's just out. And if you want to see how I have it, my elbows relaxed. It's called Mira Mudra, and it's a mudra of the ocean, of the flow of water. And that's what we are as wonderful women. And so bring in this mudra of flow and ease. And I'm going to read to you a short passage by Judith Anderson called Remember Us. Remember us, you who are living. Restore us. Renew us. Speak for our silence. Continue our work. Bless the breath of life. Sing of the hidden patterns. Weave the web of peace. Remember us. And let's release that mudra and come to palms together at heart space. Take an exhale. Inhale. Namaste. Namaste. And in the words of Mother Teresa, may today there be peace within. May today there be peace within. And I'm coming back up, back towards you. I'm gonna see if I can, yeah, here we go. There we go. All right.